tonight is all about celebrating black men. We got a lot of icons coming through tonight. So we're gonna have an interesting conversation over some great food. I'm so glad y'all here. There's a lot I like to talk about: fatherhood, masculinity.
What does a healthy romantic relationship look like to you?
Do you recall your first encounter with prejudice? Tell me you're a black man without telling me you're a black man.
I have a do-rag drawer.
That's a black man. That is a black man. Chef Kwame.
Yo, Mr. Badass.
What it do,
Himself.
brother? How you doing, man? Ooh.
So what's going on tonight, man? What are we doing here? You brought me all the way out here from New York,
Yes,
making
sir.
jerk chicken on the side of a mountain.
So listen, man, tonight is all about celebrating black men. We got a lot of icons coming through tonight. We got Oscar-nominated film producer and entrepreneur Charles D. King.
Oh, yeah.
Daniel Ezra, star of the hit series All American. We got Kendrick Sampson, from the Insecure family. And we even got Lil Rel Howery.
Funny man.
Funny man.
He's a funny man.
You know what I'm saying? So we're gonna have an interesting conversation over some great food.
All right, man, speaking of the food, I gotta get back to cooking.
Yeah,
I know you
do
gotta
that,
greet
do
your
that.
guests.
Listen.
I'll take care of this, you take care of that.
All right, bet.
All right.
Sounds good.
All right, man, I
Sounds
appreciate you,
good.
brother.
Yes, sir, you're ready. Hey,
What up?
What it do, brother? How you doing, man? Good to see you, brother. Thanks for coming.
What up?
Hey, you doing, Ryan? How's everything?
What's up? Hey, we ready to
Yeah,
eat?
my boy, yeah. Listen, man, I'm so glad y'all here. So glad y'all came through tonight. A lot I like to talk about: fatherhood, masculinity, just a few topics or whatever. But without further ado, Kwame, what we got in front of us right now?
So I want to start off with something. I know y'all hungry, right? You know what I mean?
Listen,
Everybody
listen.
always starts
Hold
off
on.
with a little bit of...
Starving.
Yeah. They want to do a little salad and shit. No, man, let's eat. So
Yeah.
I have some fresh Masemin bread, which is a bread from Morocco. It's like a laminated dough. We have some whipped black bean hummus. And then I have some Ethiopian spiced lamb in the center.
Oh my God.
Yeah, this is like that, huh?
What kind of bread is this?
So Masemin, it's like a layered bread from Morocco. And there's some hot sauce on the table, too. So this is pepper sauce. Y'all Caribbean? Anyone Caribbean here? All right. So, yeah, think about
That's
pepper sauce.
Caribbean.
Yeah, that's Caribbean.
Your plane might get lost, but that's So, gentlemen, got this interesting thing. Got some scrolls here. Everybody get a scroll. Each scroll has a question. So, take one, pass it down. And that's how we start our conversation tonight. Let's start with you, Kwame.
All right.
What you got on your scroll?
Let's see what we got here. All right, tell me you're a black man without telling me you're a black man.
I like to sit on the porch. West side of Chicago.
I always say renege.
Like in spades? Or something like that?
You knew it.
Oh, well, when you come out of the shower, you better make sure you put on some lotion on your ashy ankles.
Yeah, man.
And elbows.
What about you, man?
I have a do-rag drawer.
Oh, hell yeah.
There you go. That's a black man.
Yes.
That is a black man.
Matches socks with his do-rag.
Hey, listen, Charles, what's on your scroll?
All right, let's check it out. All right, let's see. All right, what we have. What are some stereotypes of black men and how do they make you feel?
First of all, they always love to say we don't take care of our kids, which is just fucking ridiculous. Even when you watch television shows, right, and then if you have friends that were white, their dads used to literally go to work. They don't really talk to them and shit. Yeah. When you're a poor family, y'all gotta talk. It's one TV, you watch the same shit together. Like, you have to spend time together.
That's a fact.
I don't know if we had a choice not to spend time with each other, because we didn't have shit.
Does that make you try harder with your kids? Do you have that in the back of your mind?
I don't try hard. Thank God I had my dad around. So I had such a great example for my father and my uncles, which is another thing too, especially in our business. They want all of us to have this really sad story on why we came up. And I'm like, no, I actually came from a dope-ass family.
Yeah.
My dad was around. He fixed everybody's bikes in the neighborhood. That's what the fuck he did. He coached our little league team. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's the type of shit I grew up with. And it's like in the hood, but they think that shit don't exist when actually Those dads do. And so, like, I hate that shit. That's one thing I hate, yeah.
My experience was very similar to yours, Ralph. My father was there, man. He was present. He was my soccer coach, my tennis coach. I haven't known anything other than that. And I feel like, unfortunately, media and out there portrays us so differently from what the experience so many of us have had, who've actually had very present fathers in our lives.
Yeah.
To black fathers.
To black fathers.
That's right.
Fathers, yes, sir.
Yes.
Cheers. Hear ye, hear ye. Why is prioritizing mental health for black men becoming more important?
Without therapy, it's almost like you're doing a boxing fight, but there's no break between rounds. And so therapy to me is like, it's like somebody rings the bell, you sit down for a second, and there's a coach that's been watching from the outside, and like, this is what you're doing wrong, this is what you're doing right. You're missing that, you're missing that, you're missing that. All right, go back in. That's kind of my best way of description of like therapy.
And I hate to shift it just from the black man. I think the younger generation has prioritized mental health more than the former. And I think it's the same thing with my friends that are white. Like, they have therapists. Their parents didn't believe in therapy. But our
you
generation,
had to just be crazy.
You'd be crazy. And for us, it's just like, our generation, period, has prioritized mental health and feelings.
Right.
You know what I mean? And like really, really digging deep within yourself and you don't have to like be medicated to have mental health issues. It's really dealing with your trauma from the past.
That makes me think of the concept of emotional intelligence. And, you know, emotional intelligence is something that we were never taught. And I feel like it's becoming something that is more renowned today, you know, just the concept of being able to identify what it is that you're feeling, you know what I'm saying, and being able to process it, you know, and really understand where it's coming from.
Do you recall your first encounter with prejudice or racism, and what was that like?
My earliest memory, I had to have been like 12 years old at the time, and we were playing football on the corner, and, you know, suddenly this unmarked car of, you know, undercover detectives, they drove up on the sidewalk so frantically that, you know, we were scared.
Startled,
yeah, we were startled. Like, what the hell? Like, are they trying to run us over? Why are they on the sidewalk? They jump out, and mind you, it's like me and 3 of my other cousins, and we all like under 15. We all under 14, I want to say.
Yeah.
And, you know, they tell us to get on the wall, and they search us, talking about they got a call that drugs were being sold on the corner.
Of course they are.
I'm
Not
like,
by
brother,
us.
like, we're literally throwing a football back and forth. And I remember being on that wall, and, you know, my aunties, my mom, my great-grandmother, you know, they come into our defense, but ultimately being helpless. They couldn't do nothing. I ain't gonna lie, like, as a youngin', that really did something to me, you know what I'm saying? Like it really did mess me up, because I never, to that point, I never felt so powerless in my life. That's probably my first, most prominent memory of like prejudice and racism.
It's always been that way. And so it's like, it's not even one story I can fucking tell. It was just different parts of my life where it's like, oh yeah, on the bus, this little white kid called me a nigga. And that was the first time my mother had to explain that shit. On the CTA bus, Chicago Trent, like we was on the bus and this little white boy called me a nigger. Just casually called it. And I didn't really understand what that meant. My mother was fucking pissed.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Snapped at his mother, and I just didn't understand. I think she understood and I didn't understand. That was the first time she had to explain to me, like, you know that wasn't a good thing that he said to you. Because he said it so casually.
How old was the kid?
We had to be like the same age.
right?
Like 5,
Like
6.
6.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
So that's his
He said it so, my mother snapped. I think she realized too the way they were raising us not to to experience that.
Yeah.
So I didn't even fucking know. Like, I didn't watch anything that said that shit. I wasn't around. Like, so I didn't fucking know.
All right, I'll jump in. Like, so I grew up in the South. So I was born in Harlem, but my family moved south. So I grew up in Decatur, Georgia, just in the suburbs, just outside of Atlanta. We moved to this neighborhood and we saw literally, y'all know what white flight is? People were like, oh shit, they have moved into the neighborhood. Within less than 5 years, it went from like 2 black families, it was like, woo woo, they ran, and it was literally the other way around. By the time I graduated from that high school, it was like 99% black. They like literally flew up out of the neighborhood.
I'd be like, great, get out of here.
Hey, Dan, you want to take us away with the next question?
What does a healthy romantic relationship look like to you? And do you believe you know how to receive love?
I think a healthy relationship for us looks like, you know, two people who are open to counseling. You know what I'm saying? Because I feel like there was definitely a point in my life where I didn't know if I deserved love.
Yeah.
There was a point in my life where I was like, you know, I'm not gonna get married. Like, I don't believe in marriage. You know what I mean? I don't believe in commitment. And when I really unpacked that, I realized that, you know, I come from a family where I've never seen marriage. My mom's and my dad separated when I was 5 years old. They were never married. You know what I'm saying? So I've never seen that growing up. And therefore, commitment was like this taboo thing for me because I've never seen an example of it.
I've been married before, and I think, you know, me and my ex-wife are good friends, and we talked about a lot of things we went through, but sometimes, honestly, I didn't feel seen. I feel like she only knew me one type of way. And so if I showed too much emotion or was hurt about something, I feel like sometimes she didn't know what to do with that.
Yeah.
For me, I don't think I knew how to receive love until very, very recently. I was always good in the honeymoon stage. Once it got to the point where we start establishing boundaries and making plans and thinking about the future, something in me, the kid in me, would dip.
It's so many things you scarred from just as a kid. Like, even with my girl now, it was a time where, like, I wasn't even sure if I deserved her. Because little me wouldn't been able to pull you. And so, like, when my girl first started giving me all these compliments, I wouldn't receive that shit at first. I'm like, yeah, you just talking shit. I ain't handsome, motherfucker. Shut up. Stop calling me fine. But and that's because of that. And again, therapy is a beautiful thing. Where I talked to my therapist about it, and then I had to have another moment where I go back to little kid me and say, hey, you became the cool kid, real. It's okay. There is a perception that black men don't do enough to protect black women. What should we do differently to shift that narrative? Ooh, that's a good one.
Well, I feel like there was a recent situation that happened. When black women are screaming out that, you know, they've been attacked or they've been wronged or they've been hurt, I think we need to do a better job at not ridiculing them.
What are you talking about?
Meg Thee Stallion got shot.
And nobody wanted to believe her at first.
Yeah.
I have a daughter, you know, and so, like, if she came to me right away and that's what the fuck happened, that's what the fuck happened.
I did an interview right after and started talking about it, and they cut it out the interview.
Wow. I'm hoping that more of us stop being silent when they're being attacked for no reason.
Well, listen, gentlemen, I appreciate y'all for coming out. You know what I mean? This has been incredible, an incredible discussion, an honor to come together, you know what I'm saying, to unify in this moment, to speak about these things that are so near and dear to our hearts. And I'd like to propose a toast to us incredible black men, us incredible black brothers, and I want to say I am proud of every last single one of y'all. So,
All right.
Cheers. Much love.
Cheers, y'all. Yeah. It's been beautiful. It's been great.